Hey, Brian Steer, Blue Homes Real Estate. Jumping on today because I'm starting to hear a lot of talk again about this huge wave of foreclosures that people see coming once this forbearance program is over. I just wanted to give you 4 reasons why the overwhelming majority of people in the forbearance program will not lose their house to foreclosure. They will not lose them to foreclosure. So, number 1, the banks don't want your house. Banks were crushed back in 2008 when all the foreclosures came through and they had to deal with taking back all of these properties. And they found out how hard it really is to take back, manage, and resell all of these properties. They just don't want to do it. So, for example, about 50% of all mortgages are backed by what's called the Federal Housing Finance Agency. In 2008, they offered only 208,000 homeowners some kind of home retention action, which would be a loan modification, forbearance, which there's obviously a lot of going on now, or deferral. Over the past year, they've offered over 1 million homeowners one of those above programs to help them keep their home. So that's number 1. Number 2, almost 50% of people that are leaving the forbearance program are already caught up on their payments. So according to the Mortgage Bankers Association, through March 28th of 2021, 48.9% of homeowners who have already left the forbearance program were current on their payments when they left. 26.6% of those made their payments the entire time, which means they probably just filed as a fail-safe, and because they weren't hit as hard or they didn't lose their job or whatever the reason was, they were able to continue paying the whole time. That's 26.6%. You had 14.7% that brought their past due payment up to being current and then moved on from the program, and you have another 7.6% who paid their homes off in full. So over 50% of the people, almost 50% of the people leaving the program are either current or have paid their home off in full. 3, there's no political push or will to foreclose on all these households and homeowners. Mortgage companies could actually face penalties if they don't take the proper steps to prevent foreclosures. The Consumer Finance Protection Bureau is pushing these mortgage servicers to start proactively reaching out to effective homeowners now and start to give them options that they can do to keep their homes, like, for instance, a loan modification. They're also proposing a very stringent new set of guidelines to ensure that people will be able to retain their homes. Once those guidelines come out, I will share them with you. And number 4, people will sell their home before they hit foreclosure. Homeowners currently have a record amount of equity in their homes on average across the country. According to CoreLogic's Home Equity Report, the average equity in a mortgaged home right now is $204,000. Plus, there's an additional 38% of homes that don't have a mortgage. So you're talking about an average home across the country has $204,000 in equity. That's a huge amount of equity. That's way more equity needed to sell, which means a lot of those homeowners that may be in forbearance and may be behind can sell, bring their mortgage up current, and still walk away with a really, really nice amount of money to move on to a new property or to save and rent until they're ready to buy again. And lastly, currently just 1 in 10 homes has less than 10% equity in their home. Now, why is that important? 10% is roughly the number you need to sell your home, roughly the amount of equity you need to sell your home without being upside down and need a short sale or something like that. So again, 1 in 10 homes has less than 10% equity in their homes, and that 10% is typically the minimum amount of equity needed to sell without some sort of help. So you take all those 4 things and put them together. The outlook for the ending of the forbearance program is actually really, really good. Is there still some people out there that are going to be hurting? Absolutely. There's going to be some, but it is such a small amount. It's something around like 12 to 13% of people in the forbearance program that may actually lose their home, which still is awful. We don't want anyone to lose their home, but it's a lot smaller percentage than it was back in 2008 when the bottom fell out. We lost about 30% in market value. A lot of the people that bought in interest-only loans were very low down payment loans. They did not have the equity amount in their home to sell. They were upside down 25 or 30%, and they really had no choice but to walk away, try to short sale, or try to loan modify. But as I said before, back then they were not giving the option for loan modification for as many people. Now, everyone is on board with trying to keep homeowners in their homes and figuring out the best way possible to get it done. So, with that said, that's my thoughts on the subject. I hope it was helpful and informative. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them in the bottom or give me a call at 609-425-9428. Again, it's Brian Steer, Blue Homes Real Estate. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.